Hi, I'm Beth Jacobson, and I'm here with
Pam Lathrop.
and we're filming the March edition of the Beloit Today show. As always, we have a lot of exciting things happening in the city of Beloit. Pam has a very exciting interview. Is this our first animal guest that we've had?
No, in previous shows we've had the police dog and maybe the fire dog. But this is our first reading education assistance dog. So it's READ. And our Beloit Public Library has started a new program, which we're very excited about, and we'll tell everybody about that later on in the show.
So look forward to it because there's going to be an animal on it. It's very exciting. And I'll be interviewing Andrew Yonke. He's our Economic Development Director at the City of Beloit. He wears a couple different hats, but he's going to talk about essentially economic development in the City of Beloit and then also some business retention and expansion programs that he works on. And what else do we have for today's show?
Well, you're going to be talking to Terry Downing, and we're going to take people on a tour of one of the neighborhood revitalization homes that we have for sale.
Yes, and Terry has so graciously allowed us to actually film within one of the homes that we have for sale. So keep an eye on it if you are a first-time home buyer and you're interested. The city has a couple houses for sale, and that should be a really great experience for everyone to get to see inside these homes that we rehab.
Yes, so let's get at it. Happy March.
That's right.
Well, as you can see, I'm sort of in the doghouse today. I'm at the library with a new reading education assistance dog named Lily. She's the star of the show. Hi, Lily. This is her handler, Alicia Grambling, who's also a teacher in the Beloit Public School System. And Jenny Schomber is here, too, to put in a few words, along with Alicia's children, DJ and Destiny. They might be able to do a little bit of reading for us, but we just really wanted to talk about this new special program that's come to the library to help children with who might have some reading issues. First of all, how do you select and train a dog like Lily to be a reading specialist dog?
Lily was adopted through a rescue, and when I first got her, I noticed her temperament was very good, and some of her behavior and obedience, she was already trained, obviously, like sitting and staying and shaking and lying down. So I thought, well, why not, try getting her trained to be a certified therapy dog. As a teacher, I work with a lot of struggling readers, and I had come across this program where dogs can read with children in libraries and schools. So I thought, well, why not try getting her trained and certified? And she passed the test. So for the test, I went to class first for a couple weekends in June, and then I practiced some of the skills with her. And she did take an exam where she had to work on being able to obey and follow directions even in some distracting environments. And she's certified through Delta Society, which is a national certification program for therapy dogs, as well as Intermountain Dog Therapy. So that's the reading-based therapy program. So.
Thank you. Obviously, she's quite relaxed in this setting. There's books around her and children. She's used to this. Are there other read dogs in our area?
In the State Line area, no, they're not. The organization that I found out about all these opportunities is based in Madison. It's called Dogs on Call. So there are other certified read dogs in the Madison area, but not in Beloit. So.
Well, that's kind of cool for us that we have this special dog in our area. Who came up with this brilliant idea to bring a read dog to our library? Jenny, do you speak on that?
I've heard of the program, I had really wanted to have a read dog here, but we just didn't have one in the area. And so I kind of sat on the program for a while, and then one day Alicia called and said, hey, can I bring my dog to the library? And so we really just started kind of working on it last fall and got it all organized, so we'll be up and running here in just a couple of weeks.
That's very exciting. Now, how does the program work? Does the handler stay in the room with the children when they sign up to read with the dog?
Yeah, I will stay the whole time for all of the sessions when she reads with children. and the sessions are geared for children ages 5 through 10. So, yes, I will be next to her the whole time. I usually stay pretty quiet because the idea is that the child connects with the dog while they read. So.
And the goal is to help children who have problems reading to improve their reading. The theory being that dogs don't mind if children make mistakes, and they're a little bit calmer and more relaxed around the animals, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oftentimes, struggling readers have some confidence issues when it comes to reading, and by having a non-judging party, as we like to say, they'll open up a little bit more, kind of increase their reading stamina, which means like continuing reading the whole time and not stopping, and just enjoying reading.
So, do we set goals for the children? Like, can you monitor their progress?
For this program and the way this is designed, we are not going to be monitoring those sort of things. However, we do know what grade the children are coming in at, their age, and we also kind of ask the parents what the child's reading comfort level is. So in that respect, yes, and I'm hoping to see improvements in their reading. In the school setting, there's more of an emphasis on that progress monitoring, but for the library, it's just more of enjoying the reading and yeah. Is there anything else you want to add to that? Okay.
Well, for now, it's just a special thing that the library is hosting. Maybe we'll get it into the school system later. But Jenny, how can people sign up for their children to read?
Right now, the program will be running in March, April, and May. We only have Alicia and Lily for a couple of Saturdays in those months. So signing up now is crucial because we only have a few slots. Kids can sign up to read for 15-minute slots, time slots, by calling the Children's Desk at 364-2915. You can also find more information on our website, beloitlibrary.info. You can also stop in at the Children's Desk and we can sign you up there. We do have a parental permission slip that we want the parents to sign. And the dates that you can come and read to Lily will be April 14th and 28th, May 5th and 19th, and I think we still have a couple of slots available on March 17th.
Thank you. Now, I know we didn't rehearse this or anything. DJ, what's her favorite book that you read to her?
Where the Red Fern Grows.
That's a great one. And what's your favorite book to read to her?
Well, I usually read like Junie B. Jones and stuff like that to her.
Well, I'd say, that Lily's a very patient dog. She doesn't even mind if the microphone cord goes over her ears. But I want to thank you all for being with us today, and I hope that more people will take advantage and sign up to read with Lily. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Andrew Yankee, and Andrew and I work closely together at the City of Beloit. We're both on the 4th floor. Something interesting that I know about Andrew is that one of my first weeks at the City of Beloit is that he came into my office and he gave me his business card. And you know someone is important when they have a double-sided business card. Andrew actually fills 2 functions at the city and then sort of privately. So I'll let him explain it. Let's talk about your function at the City of Beloit. You're the Economic Development Director.
That is correct.
And what does that entail?
Well, basically, I work with companies in the region who are looking to either expand or companies that might be considering locating to the market.
And then on the other side of your business card, you're the executive director of what we call the GBEDC. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. The GBEDC is the Greater Beloit Economic Development Corporation, and it's basically a private nonprofit organization. It's a public-private partnership, so we have private companies that are represented on the corporation, as well as municipalities. So the City of Beloit, City of South Beloit, Town of Turtle, and Town of Beloit are all participants in that particular organization.
And the GBEDC is a private entity, and so you're run by a board. Is that how that works?
Correct. They're all volunteers, and we rent space here at Vision Beloit. And again, it's a volunteer board of directors, about 35 members right now.
And Andrew, can you talk to us, lately economic development's been a really big buzzword as the economy seems to be lagging a little bit, and everyone's talking about what's Beloit doing, what is Rock County doing to attract new businesses, and there's been a lot of successes from what I understand, but can you explain to the public what does economic development mean, and how do you sort of get in touch with these business owners?
Well, basically, there are a number of things that we try to track. We like to track job creation, private investment, the number of new square footages that have been added to the marketplace, basically building expansions or new buildings. And this is a copy of our annual report for the Greater Beloit Economic Development Corporation. And some of the metrics that we found there for 2011 is we had 14 major economic development projects. And they resulted in the creation of 491 new jobs. The investment was over $330 million and created about 692,000 square feet of new development.
And a lot of times when people call me and say, you know, my business wants to locate in Beloit, I say, call Andrew. I just sort of dump it on him. Can you explain what you do if someone's interested in coming to Beloit?
We try to start with finding the correct real estate solution. So are they looking for an existing building? And we keep a comprehensive inventory of all the industrial properties that are available in the Greater Beloit area. So if they're looking for an existing building, we'll try to match them up with that. If they're looking to build a new building, we also have an inventory of greenfield spaces. In fact, the Greater Beloit Economic Development Corporation is the owner of the Gateway Business Park. So if they're looking for new locations to build, they could either locate in the business park, Gateway Business Park, or the I-90 Business Park.
And can you tell us, one of the great things about our business park is that I hear we're shovel ready. What does that mean to the city of Beloit and in the state of Wisconsin for us? Because I understand that gives us an advantage.
That's a great question. Last year we partnered with City of Janesville and Rock County 5.0. We hired basically a third-party consultant to come in and evaluate an industrial site on the south side of Janesville as well as the Gateway Business Park. And they looked at all the variables that a developer might look at. Issues related to ownership, environmental issues. They determined whether or not the sites were fully improved, meaning that they were serviced by infrastructure, sewer, water, gas, etc. A rather involved process. It took us about a little over a year to complete it, but once we completed that process, they certified these two sites as being, quote, shovel ready, meaning if a developer wants to look at that site, they can be confident that there aren't going to be any challenges or barriers in their way. To our knowledge, right now, the Janesville site and the Beloit site are the only certified shovel-ready sites in the state of Wisconsin, which we think gives us a significant competitive advantage. In fact, just last week, we got a request for proposals, a company that was looking to do a site search in the Midwest. They're looking at the entire Midwest, but they're only looking at certified sites. So for the entire state of Wisconsin, only Beloit and Janesville were able to submit proposals.
That's very exciting for us, and thank you for working on that. I hear the people in the city of Beloit we're always hearing about people expanding, and certainly this is a great thing for us, and that will attract new businesses. We also want to talk quickly about the business retention and expansion program that you do, and I think you guys call it BRE. Can you talk about that? It's for existing business owners in the city. So not only does he help find new businesses, but we work with existing businesses.
That's correct. In fact, our first focus is on retention and expansion. So BRE, Business Retention and Expansion, is essentially an interview process where we go out and we visit with our companies. We ask them a series of questions, and we're trying to determine trends, if you will, trying to find out what's going on in those particular industries, what their market share is, if they have any plans for expansion, and what barriers might be out there for them doing an expansion, including any recruitment issues they might have in hiring new workers. Thus far, we started this in the spring of 2010, countywide, and we have done 101 interviews thus far. We just completed doing an annual report, and that's going to be released later this month to the participants of the BRE interviews. And
it sounds like the businesses must appreciate this, because what you're saying is if you need help, basically, what do you need? And what are some common things that they may have? Is it a space needs issue, or is it maybe a permit processing? What kind of issues do they have that come up in your meetings?
Well, I think the predominant issue we've identified is challenges in recruiting skilled workers. We know we have a large unemployment community here, but still our employers are having challenges in recruiting workers.
And so then do you work with like Black Hawk Tech, or you find resources for them to try to match up to find those employees?
Yeah, we do. Just a simple example is we've been able to identify that there's a need for welders in a lot of companies in the marketplace. So we've worked with Blackhawk Tech to enhance those offerings.
And is there anything else you want to mention? Just, I know that we have some other information here. Are there specific businesses that are that there's a lot of in Beloit? Do you want to talk about any either of those?
Yeah, and I guess I'd encourage the watchers of this program to maybe check out our website, because there's a lot of information there, and they can go to greaterbeloitworks.com. And, you know, part of our recruitment efforts involve marketing efforts, and we've put together a series of videos on our targeted industries, and you can see those videos on that website.
Oh, fantastic. So go to Greater Beloit Works, and Andrew, I want to thank you for having for letting me interview you. We have a lot of great things happening in the city of Beloit, so hopefully it just is going to continue to grow.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Terry Downing. She's the new Director of Community and Housing Services. And Terry, can you tell us how long you've been with the city of Beloit?
I started with the Community Development Department in 2006.
And so this is a new recent promotion that you've received for the city.
That's correct.
Well, congratulations. We had someone leave a position in the Community Development Department. I don't remember exactly what his title was, but then we did some reorg, and then Terry recently took over some new responsibilities. And so now you're the Director of Community and Housing Services. And what do you oversee with that new title?
I oversee the citywide code enforcement program, the housing assistance programs, community development grants, and fair housing.
So as you can see, Terry's a very busy lady. And you mentioned code enforcement. We typically every spring and every fall we talk about code enforcement. Can you talk a little bit about code enforcement? How many employees do you have, and what do they do on a daily basis?
We have 6 code enforcement inspectors, and there's 2 parts that they do. They do exterior inspections. Each inspector has an area that they cover. They drive around for.
So they have just portions of the city that they select, that they have designated to them, and then they go and do inspections in those areas?
Yes.
And some do interior inspections and some do exterior inspections. Is that how that works?
All of the inspectors do exterior inspections, and all of the inspectors do interior inspections. The interiors are related to the rental permit program. So each rental dwelling unit is inspected on a 3-year cycle. There's a systematic rental inspection every 3 years.
Sure. And for people in the community that are renters, this is a great program, because that means that the city's really trying to make sure that the buildings that you're living in are up to standards and up to par, and that's important for our residents so that they don't have to live in substandard quality dwellings. And so they do write tickets as well. And now that spring is approaching, it feels like it's been spring for a long time, but essentially code enforcement will probably be stepping it up as the grass starts growing. Can you talk about some common things that occur in the spring for code enforcement?
Yes, the most common things that our inspectors see is unregistered vehicles, parking on the grass, trash and debris, which includes construction materials, brush, and yard waste, garbage, rubbish, and recycling containers that are not enclosed. All of those containers must be in an enclosed area outside of public view. Indoor furniture outside or on open porches. And then house numbers. House numbers have to be visible from the street, and a lot of houses don't have house numbers, and then our fire and emergency personnel can't find your house if there's an emergency.
Sure. So when you're doing your spring cleaning on the inside of your house, you might want to also look outside and make sure that you're maintaining your property appropriately and that we don't have garbage cans outside. I think for some of maybe the students out over by Beloit College, make sure that you also maintain the properties that you're living in. Otherwise, your unhappy landlords will end up getting a letter from the city of Beloit. Now, Terry, I understand we also have some programs, some neighborhood stabilization programs. We're actually in one of those now. That's what we're here to talk about today. So the city owns several properties, and what we do is, well, I'll let Terry tell you, we rehab them, but this program is called neighborhood stabilization. Can you talk about it and give the address?
The house we're in now is 1157 Elm Street, and this was purchased and rehabbed with neighborhood stabilization funds, which are grant funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Those funds are used to, cities can receive those funds to buy foreclosed or abandoned properties and rehab them, or if they're blighted, we can demolish them. This house was rehabbed and is now on the market.
Is it through Century 21?
Yes, Century 21, and buyers or people who may be interested can contact Vicki Gentoff Johnson from Century 21 Affiliated at 608-365-1481.
And again, we're at 1157 Elm Street, and there's a for sale sign in the front. This, as Terry said, this is grant funding, and so we use grant funding to purchase this property, which was, you said, either foreclosed on or abandoned.
Or abandoned, yes.
And so it's been redone. We just took a tour. It's a cute little home. And how do people qualify? I understand that this program is a little bit different than a typical just purchase of a home.
This program requires owner occupants, so the person buying the house must live in it. They can't rent it out. They also must qualify by income, which means they have to be low or moderate income. And if you contact the real estate agent, we can see if a person's eligible to buy the property.
So if you drive by and you're interested, please contact the real estate agent. It's Vicki Gentoff Johnson. And then do they have to take a class? Is that what I understand as well?
Yes, they do have to take a HUD housing counseling class, which is offered at Neighborhood Housing Services of Beloit. It's called a homebuyer education class, and it teaches everything from credit, how to qualify. It goes through mortgage documents, real estate documents, housing maintenance. It's an excellent program.
So even if you aren't interested in this house per se, it seems like it's a great program for first-time home buyers anyways. And we're in this home here on Elm Street, but how many homes do we have available? For sale?
4.
We have four homes available for sale, and they're on the city's website and then also through Century 21. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So if you're interested in purchasing one of these, either this home that we're standing in today or one of our other ones, please go to the Century 21 website or the City of Beloit's website, and you can find more information. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, your position or code enforcement or spring?
Not at this time.
Okay. Well, thank you, Terry, for letting us interview you and showing us this home. We'll take some footage of it so that when this shows, you can see some more images of the home. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Nikki Meyer. I'm with Friends of Riverfront, and obviously we're down on the riverfront on this beautiful March day right before the big snowstorm. I'm here to talk about Rise and Shine, Friends of Riverfront's first event, March 17th. St. Patrick's Day. So come on down to the Rotary River Center March 17th at 10 a.m. We'll have free food. You'll find out what's happening in Beloit this spring and summer. It is a wonderful collaboration between Friends of Riverfront, Visit Beloit, and the Downtown Beloit Association, where we tell you all the things you have to look forward to. And on the riverfront, there is always something happening. You'll want to check out our website, www.friendsofriverfront.com, to keep up to date what's going on. But there's lots of things going on the riverfront, and I have my good friend here and a past president of the board of Friends of Riverfront.
A proud past president.
A proud past president and still on the board, Marcy Berner-Reedy, and she has some things to tell you too. I'll hold the mic.
Thank you so much. Nikki, we're delighted to acknowledge the fact that March for Meals is a national initiative that the Beloit Meals on Wheels program has embraced, and the beautiful setting that we have behind us is going to be the site of our first ever Mushing for Meals 5K run, 1 mile walk on March 31st. It's going to be an opportunity for people to enjoy our beautiful riverfront and raise money for one of my favorite programs in town. But before that, after you've finished at Rise and Shine on Saturday,
where should we go?
I think we should amble across the river, Nikki, and enjoy the wonderful hospitality from the folks at The Rock, where we'll be celebrating St. Patrick's Day all day long. Just as a segue, every day in March, 75 cents for every Reuben purchased at The Rock.
Great
benefits Meals on Wheels, one of the best in town. And similarly, every Sunday, what a beautiful setting, the riverfront, for breakfast Sunday mornings from 9 to 1, where 20% of those proceeds are going to benefit Meals on Wheels.
Great.
And that's going to just keep the ball rolling as far as meals. We also have a lot of downtown merchants who have stepped up to the plate. Nikki's Cafe is contributing 25 cents for every cup of soup, 50 cents for every bowl of soup.
Wow.
He's
Let's go have a bowl when we're done
he's
here.
a super supporter of Beloit Meals on Wheels. We welcome Little Bistro. You'll get a Reuben sandwich there, so maybe we should do some critiquing and enjoy that.
Yeah, get your Reuben taste testing going on right here in Beloit.
And so that's we're excited about that. If you're a wine connoisseur, amble up to Badger Spirits, where we'll get $1 for every bottle of fine wine procured during the entire month.
Wow, you already had your wine tasting there, though.
No, that's by the time this airs, yes.
Oh, okay. All righty.
Yes,
that
yes,
was
yes.
a nice event also.
Fabulous. And Papa Murphy's, this is a family event. Venture over there, and $1 for every family meal deal will
Great.
benefit Beloit Meals on Wheels. And I understand they have a new cheeseburger pizza. We're going to have to go try it. It's got pickles on it.
Marcy and I meet eating. And so we do have a lot of events coming up. And so you want to check. What's your website again so they could check?
Thank you. Thank you so much. www.beloitmealsonwheelsaltogether.org.
Excellent. Because that's where we want to drive people to. Quite often people say, well, how do I know what's going on? Visit Beloit's website, check Friends of Riverfront's website, check Beloit Meals on Wheels website, so you can stay informed. Also visit Beloit posts all these events on their website also, so you can always find out. Any day of the week, you can go in there and click on that day, and so you can find out all these events that are going on. There's a lot to do in Beloit. Friends of Riverfront has a big season coming up. So stay tuned to all the fun things that are happening with us, with Meals on Wheels, with Visit Beloit. You got to be there. Live, laugh, enjoy, dine, shop. It's all there. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Pam, what are you looking at?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Isn't this just the cutest little house? I love it. It's got leaded glass doors in the dining room. I mean, you just don't find that in new houses. It has so much.
And a fireplace?
And a cute little pantry in the kitchen.
And, in the front, the little foyer.
Oh, yes, with a beautiful wooden door. It's just beautiful.
So we're here at 1157 Elm Street, wrapping up the March edition of the Beloit Today Show. I just interviewed Terry Downing, and she gave us some more information on community and housing services. And Pam had a really special interview.
Oh, I hope you all enjoyed that interview with Lily. She was so placid. She was a great dog. I don't think we mentioned she was a mix between a Labrador and a Dalmatian. I don't know what you would call that, and she was rescued from a shelter. So Alicia Gramling, her handler, did a great job with her, but we also wanted to mention that the whole program was sponsored by the Friends of Beloit Public Library, Fable, Friends at Beloit Library. They paid for the doghouse, the advertising, some of the prizes, and Alicia, bless her heart, donates her time.
Yes, and she sits with the children, and that was a fun interview. We should have more animals on our show. And I also interviewed Andrew Yonke, and he gave us information on economic development and their business retention and expansion program. So there's always a lot going on in Beloit. It's March, and it's almost spring.
Yes, and we just wanted to encourage people again to apply for our vacant positions on boards, committees, and commissions. We have a lot. Every board is important. All of our citizen volunteers are important to us, but there is going to be an opening in April on the Police and Fire Commission, and we're especially looking for minorities to apply for that position. You can contact us at the city manager's office, or you can look online. The application is online, so please consider volunteering. Don't wait to be asked, just volunteer.
And both chiefs are available if you have questions about what the Police and Fire Commission, what the board entails. And we also want to thank our staff, as always, and our film crew for helping us with the Beloit Today show.
So go out and fly a kite.
That's right. So stay tuned for our April show coming up next month.